that's a good question. So what I would advise to young people or anyone who's experiencing sickle cell is to understand that sickle cell is your superpower. Like it's your experience, your trauma, the pain that you experience having sickle cell is what's going to steer you into the direction that you're supposed to go in. So for example, I use myself. Sickle cell is something that you don't normally talk about, you don't tell your friends about. You just kind of keep it to yourself and go through the experiences alone. But in sharing it with people around you, you realize how your community are there to support you, even though it feels like they don't. And everything they can do to support you can be done by how much you teach them and show them how to support you. The problem is that many people with sickle cell don't understand how to express themselves and to make people around them understand what they're going through. But I think you should make it your life force you should put your life force into getting people around you to understand what you're experiencing. It can only be understood coming from the person who's experiencing it. So that's your superpower. You can make it your life mission to make the world understand that. That's what I'm passionate about. And
amazing.
Yeah, I would only encourage people that are experiencing sickle cell to tell your story. And everyone who experiences sickle cell has a unique story.
I would say maybe talk about it. I feel like for a long time I didn't actually talk about it for a few reasons. And I didn't really have no one to relate to growing up about it. Probably because I didn't speak about it, I didn't know anyone else that dealt with it. So I probably would have told my dad. I feel like I definitely had a vibe from growing up of like I can still do what I want. Like my parents always allowed me to do what I want, so I would have definitely kept that. But I think I would have definitely been open to speaking about it more, just so that I can understand it better myself. I think sometimes, even though being young, you might know you have something, but when you don't speak about it a lot, or you don't really want to know about it too much, you don't care. But also, I was able to enjoy my childhood, so I didn't have to think about it. So that's why it's a tricky case, because like
you had a balance with
it. I think I did have a balance. Like I did have a good balance. I'll tell him to remain lit, man, and just keep going. Don't listen to what people say.
We have to just learn how to cope in our own ways, find ways to cope, whether that's therapy, meditation, if you rely on your faith. But always just be true to yourself and always advocate for yourself. That's one thing I've learnt growing up, to always advocate for myself, because being someone with sickle cell and the fact that it does affect predominantly black people, we are, stigmatised. So you have to learn to advocate for yourself so that you can get the best care possible.
Young people who have sickle cell, I feel like it's important for them to get themselves around people who do have sickle cell. A lot of people have said that they've just felt discouraged, felt like they were the only person who had sickle cell until they got around other people who had sickle cell. So social media is our best way of connecting. If you just type in Sickle Cell UK, you'll see many of people or different pages of people who have sickle cell, and just connect with each other. Even like meeting each other in hospitals is crazy, but I've met, like I shared on the panel, I met some of my friends, especially my friend Sarah. I met her in A&E, just through us hearing each other's pains, speaking to each other and becoming great friends. And now we're able to support each other. So if you're young and you feel like you've got sickle cell and you don't have a voice, you do have a voice. Get people around you that understand sickle cell, and that will just strengthen you and encourage you to become a voice in your community as well.
I would always say definitely, like you're not alone. There's a massive community. When I was younger, I can definitely relate to like not meeting a lot of people that looks like myself and not finding a lot of people I can relate to, especially even within my family. I'm the only one with sickle cell in my family, so that's always been something that's been quite difficult. But the older I get, just reaching out to people within your community. There's so many like spaces, there's so many sickle cell charities, there's sickle cell WhatsApp group, there's some people that organise sickle cell day out, connect with people with sickle cell. There's so many people online that are coming forward and being very much more transparent than when I was younger about the experience. So connect to those people, like go and watch those stories and like find the community in space. Don't try and find community in space that there isn't any community in. If you find that there isn't a lot of people around you that have sickle cell, go out and go outside of your community and search for it and meet your tribe and create your own tribe as well. You don't have to stick with the people that you were born with. You can like kind of spread your wings and meet people that can help you navigate this illness, and people that you can talk to and people that understand what you're going through is so important. So yeah.
It's okay. It is okay. Honestly, speak. Find your outlet. It can be music. For me, it was music. It could be anything. Find an outlet where you feel like you can express yourself, or or just something that takes your mind away from just even like going through the crisis, or when you're in hospital and there's just so much going on around you, and there's beeping in the backgrounds from different things when you're in A&E. Find an outlet. It's okay. And there's so much you can also do. You can control what the things that you want to control. Yeah.